Time for the 360 round. We bring in our panel, Kim Forrest, founder, chief investment officer at Boca Capital Partners, and Tyler Richey, co-editor, Seventh Report Research. Thank you both for being with us. Kim, glad you're with us. This group is a much loved group, brought the market to soaring new highs, only to see the NASDAQ down 13% off its high, and these even more so. Name some of the names. I mean, how about Nvidia? When it went down, to 90-something dollars, people couldn't believe it. Intel, we'll talk about Intel briefly, a name that was a great name and has gotten hit so hard. What's the big picture, Kim?
Well, the big picture is, I think a lot of people out there are really worried that there is supply, or there's a potential for oversupply for the world's most exotic and right now sought after chips, which are Nvidia's GPUs that have been, super charged for AI. So the big question is, are people buying them? And we didn't know until, a couple of days ago that, yeah, they still are buying them. And I think everybody's looking at the economy as well, saying, will the companies who are buying them continue to buy them? And I think the answer is yes for the medium term, because they are the world's largest companies that are buying into one of the world's hottest trends. So it doesn't look like they are pressured by their balance sheets to stop buying these chips.
Right. I think there was a question about demand, but I never felt like I heard that the demand wasn't going to be there, because they keep evolving and evolving. And the demand for AI and all things related to AI, and how even AI has been evolving onto devices and all that. Tyler, some of your thoughts.
Semiconductors in general have had a really strong run since the October 2023 lows. The stocks was up about 85%, and that's typical. When big runs up, you've got semiconductors. They're your high beta play. They outperform, and then on the way down, in pullbacks and corrections and bear markets, they also tend to overreact. So right now we're in a near-term pullback and a long-term uptrend still. However, there are some cracks that have emerged in the rally as well that need to be we all need to be aware of.
So you feel like it's more of a short-term pullback. I mean, there's some cracks in the rally, but overall, you're still hot on the group. Kim, a name you've liked, AMD has been one that you liked. What names do you like right now?
Well, we like AMD, and we also like Micron. And Micron is interesting because half of their business is making memory chips. And if there's one thing I know about developing AI, is it uses unbelievable amounts of data. So it has to live somewhere. And that's why I think Micron has a whole lot of trends behind it, as well as just, computing in general, spinning out tons of data. It has to live somewhere, and Micron helps it live somewhere.
So AMD and Micron. How about Nvidia? Kim?
I like it, but I do think the margins are going to attract other companies that can diminish its sales over time. And by that, I mean probably after the next 36 months. It's really hard to bring out that type of chip really fast. It's just a very difficult engineering problem. But given the margins that NVIDIA's getting, I'm thinking there are a lot of people that want those margins, or at least close to that.
Yeah. Tyler, tell me more about, you said you still see this group as being a strong group. I think there are some cracks, as you noted, right? Tell us a little bit about the big picture story. I mean, do you feel optimistic overall, and why?
I'm optimistic in the near term. However, I do believe that there's risks of a significant downturn here. For one, you have the global carry trade that started to unwind in early July. And that was the initial catalyst for the pullback in the semiconductors. And then last week's recession fears really started to make investors question valuations and earnings potential in the quarters ahead. So you got that two-pronged catalyst that pushed things lower. And we're into key support here at 42.75 in the SOX index there. If that gives way, that's an uptrend that dates back to October of 2022. It is the year-to-date lows, and that's also the 200-day moving average area. So if it doesn't hold, there is a massive, downward measured move target of a 60% ultimate decline from the all-time highs.
Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the carry trade. It's such an important part of tech selling off that we've seen, no doubt, right? The yen carry trade. Kim, I got to touch on Intel. It was a name you liked, and it's down 42% in 1 month. Do you like it more here, or you decided to switch gears?
Kind of, sort of, but not really. No, I mean, I think the timeline for Intel has been pushed out. I think if you listen to the call, you get it that they are bringing up plants all over the world, one of which they're actually bringing back into the company a chip that for fabrication that the company had outsourced. And that's where a lot of the decline in the profitability went in this quarter. But I do think it's going to take much longer than people think for the company to become a foundry. However, now people are questioning whether or not that's a good strategy. It's always a tough time. And I like the company for the very long run. It's the medium term that it looks iffy right now.
Right. It's great to see you both. Kim Forrest at Boca Capital Partners and Tyler Richey, Sevens Report Research. Thank you both so much. Good to see you.